Hello there, guys, and welcome back to my channel for my reaction and analysis and player ratings live stream following Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 0. Now, we've done something different today. I didn't go live straight after the game for two reasons. Number one, Liverpool versus Man City taking place at the same time. Number one, I wanted to watch it. Sure, could have done a watch along, but it takes viewers. You know, a lot of people will be focused on that, which makes sense. And also, the F1 was on, which I wanted to watch. Forza Ferrari. Unlucky, Norris. Championship still on. Let's see how it goes. But just an effort, just to try, see how it is if I don't stream directly after, if there's big games after our game, and just stream a couple of hours later. And here we are, Chelsea 3, Aston Villa. No, what a game! What a performance! We are back, still third in the Premier League, even though we're now ahead of Man City, but we are behind Arsenal on alphabetical order. I thought it would go to fair play, where they have a lot of more red cards than we have. So I thought we'd be ahead of them. To be fair, if it wasn't yellow cards, we'd be behind them anyway. So, yeah, a lot of debate about that. As you can see, just me, myself, and I again, because I like doing these post-match streams by myself, so I can actually chat to you in the chat, so I can react to what you think, what you say, go back and forth with you guys. So get involved in the chat, be active in the chat. I'd massively appreciate that. Honestly, it would mean a lot to me if you would be involved. You know, talk to me, give me your thoughts and feelings. That would be very, very nice. But yeah, Aston Villa against Chelsea. I mean, bloody hell. I did not see this coming. I mean, I thought it was going to be a very difficult game, if I'm being honest. Did I think we'd drop points? No, I did think we would win, but 2-1 maybe, just about, like, you know, kind of lucky. Tight anyway. 3-0 though? What the flip? How on earth has that happened then? I'm baffled. I'm blown away. I mean, a great start, an early start, as far as I know, unless the stat I read previously was wrong. The only time, or the first time we've scored within the first 15 minutes, or was it even half an hour? No, it must have been 50 minutes at home this season. Even though Nicolas Jackson has already scored for the fourth time in the first 15 minutes this season, but the other 3 times was just away from home. But yeah, at home, the first time that has happened. So very, very happy. And we just started the game off so well. And yeah, like I say, guys, get involved. Talk to me in the chat. I'd massively appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, let me just make sure I have a few things ready here to actually discuss. Not discuss, dissect. I keep clicking wrong things. My apologies. Everything's just not going the way I want it to. But yeah, there you go. I'm there. Nicolas Jackson, what a player, what a striker. Nicolas Jackson very firmly making sure that nobody questions anymore whether he is the better player between himself and Ollie Watkins. Who else could be the second best striker in the Premier League if not Nicolas Jackson? Now, maybe Isak, maybe. You could argue it's not Haaland anymore. That's the next thing. Liverpool 2, Manchester City 0. Is it now Liverpool's title to lose? I think so. Fire Red says, I called a 3-1, but I'll take a clean sheet. Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, I'll take the clean sheet as well. Who would have seen that coming? I mean, to be fair, Villa had certainly a fair few chances to score. To be fair, as much as we've criticised him on my channel, as much as I've criticised him personally, Rob Sanchez, a very good display today. Can't fault him whatsoever. And in general, just the only bad thing that happened today was Wesley Fofana getting injured. Of course, we'll dissect that in more detail as we go on. But yeah, obviously Nicolas Jackson doing his bit, proving how good he is. In all honesty, could he have scored 2 more? He could have done at least 1 more. Should have scored that. But hey, he got himself an early goal. It's also what I love so much about Jackson. Jackson isn't one of these players that gets you a 4-0 goal or a 3-0 goal. Jackson is the player that will put us 1-0 up. And how many times has Nicolas Jackson put us 1-0 up in recent times? It's utterly unbelievable, if I'm being honest. I love him. I absolutely love Nicolas Jackson so much. I'm such a big fan. Why is that camera turning off? My apologies. Yeah, such a big fan of Nicolas Jackson than Enzo Fernandez. I mean, can we just quickly talk about it? Is this Enzo Fernandez scenario teaching all of us men out here that we should divorce our wives? Thankfully, I'm not married, so I don't have to leave my girlfriend. Don't want to do that. But if you're married, you should be leaving your wife, because apparently, according to Enzo Fernandez, my days, things start kicking off once you do that. What a finish. The touch, assist from Palmer as well. The finish outside of the boot. Nothing Emiliano Martinez could have done about it. Was Emi Martinez already injured when he failed to make that save? Maybe, maybe not. And then second half, it took us a while, but at least by the end, we got that goal. And Cole Palmer, he didn't have his best game. He got the assist for Enzo. But he didn't have his best game. Otherwise, I even tweeted I would take Cole Palmer off for João Felix now, just for a bit of new input. But my God, did he shut me up. My God, did he shut me up. What a goal. Rifled it into the top corner with the goal. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Cole Palmer, I officially apologize. I will never, ever, 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 ever ask for you to be subbed off again because you are incredible. You're out of this world and you're the best player in the world. And the only one that should feel egregious about not getting a Ballon d'Or, not getting nominated to these things is Cole Palmer. He's not even nominated for the best award. Not even. Are you telling me Cole Palmer wasn't in the top 10 best players this year? Is it all about trophies, is it? Absolute joke. Piss take the whole lot of them. Cole Palmer, best player in the world. Don't care what anybody says. The man's not even in four. He's on 47 goals and assists in 46 Premier League games in his career. Maybe it's only at Chelsea, but still, what? 47 goals and assists in 46 games. Are you mad? Are you mad? No Lampard, no Hazard, no Drogba. None of them is doing that. What the flip? Unbelievable. Cole Palmer out of this world. And kind of, so are Liverpool. Man City are absolutely screwed. Now, it's fair enough to lose at Anfield. We lost at Anfield. They've got, what, 5 losses? No, 4 losses? 5 losses, then a draw when bottling a 3-0 lead, and now another loss. 4 Premier League losses in a row. These lot are washed. These lot are absolutely washed. By the way, hello, Daniel. Appreciate you commenting. He says, happy we are third in the Premier League. We need to beat Southampton on Wednesday before we go into Spurs game next weekend. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to beat Southampton. We need to beat Spurs. Big K says, Enzo is on fire. Yes, he is. Enzo Maresca and Enzo Fernandez, both on fire. Very happy with both. Again, guys, get involved in the chat. Chat to me. I want to talk to you guys. Let me just see if I have the correct settings on. Not that that's somehow... No, it's on subscriber-only chat, but make sure you hit the subscribe button, get involved with the live chat, and talk to me. Share your feelings, share your thoughts. I want to get you guys involved. I want to talk to you because that's the fun thing about this. Let me open some stats. We will also look at the stats for the Liverpool City game. We will look at a lot of different things. Gabriel says, I love today's lineup. To be honest, so did I. We'll get into that in a second. Well, yeah, when you look at the stats of the game, to be honest, I'm surprised we didn't have more than 1.6 xg. But I guess it comes from the fact that all of the goals that were scored were fairly difficult goals to score, if I'm honest. But we won on xg, had large majority of possession. You can look at the momentum graph over here. We clearly dominated the whole game. More shots, supposedly only 2 big chances. If I go to the main stats over here so we can see a little bit more. 8 shots on target compared to their 4. Strong passing accuracy with 90%. Even Unai Emery after the game was full of praise and saying how we proved how strong we are and how we need to be taken seriously, unlike last year. So, yeah, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And we had so many top-class performances today. I was so happy. But, yeah, 3-0. Let's look at the table first and foremost. Again, supposedly we're behind Arsenal on alphabetical order. As you can tell, same goals scored, same goals conceded, same points, same record. Obviously, against each other was a draw. You could argue for them it was an away game, so maybe on away goals. I don't think they should be ahead of alphabetical order. I think there should be some reason why they should be ahead. If it's not away goals, it should be done on fair play, on red cards and yellow cards, but seemingly, apparently, it's on alphabetical order. But it doesn't matter right now. It would just be nicer, would we be second? It would just look better. So I would love that. But at least we're not level on points with anybody other than Arsenal anymore. We're firmly, also points-wise, settled ourselves in the top 3. Yeah, very, very happy. Of course, Brighton dropping points against Southampton on last Friday. Man City just losing, obviously, against Liverpool. I mean, bloody hell. We're 13 games into the season, guys. Imagine before, like in August, before the season started, I would have told you that Chelsea would be ahead of Manchester City after 13 games. I mean, would you have believed me? Be honest, guys. Would you have believed me if I told you, let me make this bigger so you can actually read the table a bit better. Would you have believed me if I told you Chelsea would be ahead of Manchester City after 13 games? I've seen... See, BK, thank you. BK, I love you for that. I love you for saying that. I suggested this. To be fair, I wasn't the first one that came up with it. I think I saw it somewhere on Twitter, someone talk about it, and I was like, that makes sense. I like that. Huge fan of us doing that. I'll open the lineup screen in a second and we'll talk about this in more detail. I'll highlight your comments so I can come back to it. Absolutely huge. Oh, I missed a couple of comments. RC, big up yourself. Don't mean to sound harsh, but Fofana won't be missed with his injury. He's a liability. I saw again today. which should have been 1-1, a completely different game because of his usual mistake with Watkins. Yeah, but then Enzo Fernandez made a big mistake and Fofana cleaned up like an absolute world-class centre-back. Yes, he had that one error, absolutely. But he also had 3 or 4 incredibly good moments from him. So I think that's a bit harsh. I think he will be extremely badly missed because we don't have a right centre-back even remotely close to his ability. Reece James out, of course, he could have been that guy. If you don't want to make him run too much, he could have been that guy. Do you want Tosin as right centre-back? I don't. Do you want Tarsi as your right centre-back? I don't. And it's proven to you that Maresca doesn't want Tosin there either because he decided to bring left-footed Badiashile on at right centre-back for the rest of the game. So, yeah, a little bit concerned with that. I think we're going to sign a centre-back in January now, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll talk about a lot of different things in a minute. Fabole, I'm going to keep calling you by your surname. Sorry, bro, because I'm just too concerned about butchering your first name, and I don't want to do that to you. He says, City not getting top 4 this season. Ooh. I don't know about that one. I think they'll settle themselves. I still wouldn't be surprised if they finish ahead of us. Like, I know they lost a lot of games now, but there's every chance that from January onwards, they win 15 games in a row. There's every chance that happens. More Music says, is it a coincidence that Sanchez had a good game after all the fans wanted a number 2 to start? No, it isn't. And frankly, I'm very happy about this because he's seen Jurgensen have an absolute worldy performance on Thursday in Heidenheim. And Sanchez comes out and has a really, really strong performance himself. That's what I want, that's what I want. Like, as much as I've been critical of him, to live up to that when the pressure gets bigger because the number 2 has had a great performance, credit to him. Fair play. Absolutely. He's better than the other bozo centre-backs we've got. I don't know. Why you beefing each other, boys? I don't know why RC had a go at Fofana. I don't know why you were having a go at the other centre-backs. Because the other centre-backs were also unbelievable. Colwill was phenomenal. The kind of goal line clearance block with his head from their corner, phenomenal. Cucurella, phenomenal. They're all great. I loved all of them. We're not in the title race. We are in the top 4 race. See, I think we're weirdly in neither. I think we're going to be fairly secure in our top 4. But I don't think we're in a title race because I think Liverpool are having their own race on their own, seemingly. So, yeah, top quality match. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a fun game to watch because there was chances here. And this is what I love about Maresca. So he's so adamant about playing the way he wants to play, creating chances, being positive. He is willing to sometimes concede corners. Like, he's happy for that to happen. He's aware that happens. You sometimes concede chances. Sometimes you concede goals, sometimes you don't. But you concede chances. That's part of the game. You're not Sean Dyche, you're not Jose Mourinho. The thing is, you need to create more than the opposition, have good defenders, have a good goalie to stop them from using those few chances that they will get, and take your own. Let me get to the lineup sheet. I will also, in a second, read out more of the comments. Don't worry, I will get to it. Thank you guys for getting so involved. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. That would be massively appreciated and would help me out a lot. The Chelsea boy says, I want to see Vega at centre-back. Honestly, I wouldn't despise Vega at centre-back, but he would have to be a left centre-back. You wouldn't want Vega at right centre-back. But then again, Badiashile played right centre-back, so I guess everybody can. He's no miss at all. Someone who consistently makes a mistake and I missed that. Nah, AC, sorry. You're completely off the mark with this one. A whole team makes mistakes, even Cole Palmer. Yeah, exactly. It happens. Best performance of the season? I mean, up there, I guess. I still think Brighton is probably on the whole better. Didn't we win that game 4-0? But yeah, for those who follow our youth team players, how good is Sachapong, especially now that there are chances for game time? Well, first he needs to sign a contract, otherwise he's not getting game time. But I'm no extreme expert, but I know who to talk to and I know who to listen to. And the people that watch the youth team meticulously, they all tell me Josh Achapong is the guy. Now, has he always looked amazing those couple of occasions when he's played for the first team? No. But in general, he's got everything. He's got the physicality, he's got the pace, he's got the technique, he's got positioning. He's good. I really like him. RC continues on his Fofana hate train. He says he made another mistake in the second half as well, which Villa didn't capitalize on. Well, we should have drew at home to Newcastle with Fofana mistake with Isak, which again didn't take. So, okay. So how are you going to say that because all the attackers don't take chances, that's why we didn't win the other games then? Because we also had other chances against Newcastle that we didn't take. So is it their fault? Even if Fofana's mistake was, capitalized? Cucurella was unbelievable. He truly was. This thing about making Enzo Fernandez score from the box is giving me joy. Absolutely. Ricardo says, awesome performance. Marco Cucurella was perfect. He was. As the youngest team in the league, we are always going to make mistakes for now, but I believe we have the right manager to coach it out of them. Keep the blue flag flying here. Yes, more music. Good comment. I love that. agree with it. Southampton, then Southampton, then Tottenham. Looking forward to that, mate. I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to every game. I'm looking forward to every game. Obviously, I love our guaranteed midweek wins in the Conference League. But we've got midweek Prem now, and I'm buzzing for it. I already can't wait. I'm already excited for who's going to play on Wednesday. Are we going to rotate a lot? Is it going to be very much the same team? I'm already buzzing. Best left back in the league. Michael Gray is the best player in the league. No, I'm joking. But let's look at our team. I'll make it a little bit bigger. This was obviously a lineup on the ball. You could make a little bit of a case that it was this on the ball, like a 3-3-4, more than a 3-2-4-1, a bit up for debate, a bit fluid. In some moments it was more this, in some moments it was more that. I'll put it up on screen like this just for ease's sake. But Moises Caicedo started this game out of position, or played this game out of position until certain subs happened, as the right back. And then inverted into midfield. And I will highlight Big K's comment from earlier again in a second, because I have said this from summer onwards, that this is what I would like to see us try. And why did I say that? Let me explain. My main reasoning was we have 3 very expensive and very talented central midfielders. Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia, and Moises Caicedo. If we start all of them in midfield, like we did, for example, against Manchester City on the first game of the season, to make that happen, we need to sacrifice one of the attackers. But this way, if you start Caicedo at the right back, and let him invert into midfield next to Lavia and let Enzo push higher up the pitch to be part of the attacking force. That way, you can start all 3 of them without sacrificing an attacking position. Now, I'm not saying we should do that every game, because injuries, suspensions, we need to still have the bodies for midfield as well. But while Reece James is never fit, while Gusto's fitness is also not 100% there, I'm not sure today if this was purely a tactical decision by the manager to play Enzo there, or if Gusto wasn't fit to start the game, because obviously he came on later on, but maybe his body after being ill wasn't ready to play more than half an hour or whatever. We don't know that for sure, obviously. But I'm very happy with this. I really like that we tried this, and I hope we're going to see it a bit more, because like I say, I think these 3 players are too good to not play all 3 of them. I'm not saying every game and every time, but they should be playing a significant amount. And if we play them like this, it's possible. And I'm very, very happy. Let me get to a few more of your comments, guys, before we get into, I guess, the player ratings individually. Neto and Sancho were also very good. Uzaiya says, I agree. I mean, very good is maybe a slight stretch, but certainly good. Caicedo has been absolutely fantastic this season. Oh, yes, he has. No Gusto, another clean sheet and win. Gusto is a defensive liability. Well, recently Gusto has played right attacking mid, so I'm not really sure if Gusto playing is the reason why we don't keep clean sheets, but I hear it. Do you think Enzo will go down in a managerial history? That is a big question, bro. What the flip? I don't know. I mean, I'd love to say yes, but I think it's a bit early to make a call like that, Big K. I mean, realistically, he needs to win the Conference League this season. So he should have a trophy by the end of the season, at least one. Obviously, FA Cup is theoretically possible as well. You never know. Maybe we'll win the Club World Cup in the summer. Who has a squad like ours? Who can play players like we can? You know? All the other lot will have a lot more tired players than we will. So, you know, cheeky secret favorite. Dead Dominant says, we probably can't use this formation with Fofana injured. Do we trust Tosin to cover the wide areas? Now, while that is a valid point, what do you think we're going to do, though? Like, I don't think we're going to change the whole shape because of this injury. You know what I mean? Or are you trying to say we might play, like we kind of shift the whole thing across? But because we just don't have another right back, obviously when Gusto is fit and ready, he can do the job there. Absolutely. He's a great player, in my opinion. But I don't want Gusto as a right centre-back. I think that's a bit of a waste of his talent, really. And also, I'm not sure if he's quite physically, like, you know, hench-wise strong enough, if that makes sense. But elaborate on that, the Dominant, exactly how you meant that. Ashraf says, Cucurella and Caicedo, 10 out of 10. I might agree. We'll see. We'll get into that. More Music says, this game kind of showed me the gaffer is cooking something nice, very flexible with our players. I agree. More Music, I agree. Is this a Superman logo? Fair enough. The Chelsea Session says, Pies got his wish. We scored in the first 15 minutes of the game. Yes, Pies did get his wish. Shout out, Pies. Shout out you, Chelsea Session. And by the way, On the topic of Pies, mine and Pies' podcast called Chelsea Unfiltered, the Chelsea Unfiltered podcast. Link is down in the description, first line, second, third line of the description. Click that link. There's a Spotify link as an Apple podcast link, whichever one of the two you use. I assume most people use one of those two, right? By the way, I still haven't, we still are willing to put it on other platforms, but people have to tell us they want other platforms because otherwise it's not really worth the hassle. If no one is telling us, I would love to listen, but not on any of these platforms. So, check those out. There will be a new episode on Tuesday, of course, talking about this very game against Aston Villa, as well as touching on the High-9 game from a few days ago. Ricardo says, Enzo Maresca is a master in his tactics. Oh, yes, he is. I'm talking about when Gusto was even playing right back, caused so many far post goals. That is not wrong. That is not wrong. Although, to be fair, the way the game was today, I don't think that necessarily would have happened because pretty much all of Villa's crosses came from the left to the right rather than the other way around. But obviously, maybe had Gusto played, they would have purposely done it the other way around. You never know. Colwill is only good as centre back today. Again, he got exposed against Watkins. He got luck not to concede. Bit harsh. I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes it happens. The way we play, the way we press aggressively, especially we pressed very aggressively today. Colwill was following Watkins halfway into the opposition half. They're very aggressive. It happens that sometimes they're getting behind. This doesn't necessarily always mean a player got exposed or a player is bad. This is part of the risk that the managerial setup is willing to take. Now, I'm not trying to defend everybody, but maybe you get the point I was trying to make. Caicedo was absolutely brilliant in right back. Yes, he was. He was fantastic. I prefer Badiashile to Tosin. I mean, so do I. But as right centre back, I would rather a right-footed player, and Tosin is right-footed, Badiashile is left-footed. But then again, obviously, in the back three on Thomas Tuchel, Antonio Rudiger, who's right-footed, played left centre back. So I guess it's possible. But yeah, there you go. I think you guys should put your podcast on YouTube. But the thing is, it's purely an audio podcast. So if we put it on YouTube, where do we put it? Do we create a new channel? Do we put it on my channel? But elaborate. Obviously, get in touch with me as well on Twitter if you want to be more detailed about this Big K. But I hear it. So happy we've seen past all the injury issues with this big squad rotation. Might be future for all big clubs. I mean, I want to agree, but then at the same time, we started the game without a right back because of injuries, and the person that played right back last game, not today, but last game, Fofana, also got injured today. So we're not fully over it. Certain players are still susceptible to it, but in the grand scheme of things, absolutely. Colwill was very good today. What is he talking about? That's what I thought. One good thing about Maresca is that you can see thought behind the game. Absolutely. And I think that for a fan, makes it easier to follow and I don't know, get excited about it. Concern says, Badiashile is comfortable playing on the right side. He did plenty at Monaco. Did he? I swear this Sarzi was on their right at Monaco. I thought that was their whole thing. They were telling me he locked down Mbappe, even though he can't lock down bloody, I don't know, Nottingham Forest players. But yeah, I mean, hey, if that's what Maresca is going to go with, fair enough. I'm intrigued to see who's going to play there. It might end up being Gusto as well. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we'll just put Cucurella there and play Badiashile on the left. Also a potential thing to consider. We'll see. Colwill is showing he's top defender. Fofana has improved, but still rash. Yeah, Colwill is amazing. That goal line clearance, I can't believe anybody's having a go at Colwill today. It was utterly unbelievable. We're definitely not a one-man team anymore like last season. The ops can try dubbing up on Cole Palmer. That will only leave big spaces for our other players. 100%. Very good call. Very good call. I'm a happy chappy. My blood is blue. We will finish above City and Arsenal this season. Unless Liverpool will mess up, then the title is ours. Nothing is impossible. I assume you meant the title is theirs unless they mess up, because the title should be theirs. Let's be honest. We need to get a centre-back now. Yeah, I kind of agree. We should be looking at a centre-back. But let's see what we do, right? Let's see what we do. If only we still had Trevor Chalobah, right? He would be kind of perfect. Shock. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that Trevor Chalobah would still be quite good to have around? Anyways, let's get into these players. And we got to start it off. I already praised him a little bit earlier, but let's get it off by, we need to talk about Robert Sanchez, because he had a day today, bloody hell, because there was a lot of criticism, or not criticism, there was a lot of people calling, including myself. I had Pice and Charlie on the channel yesterday. We were all saying it needs to be Jurgensen that starts today after he just earned it for himself with his phenomenal performance against Heidenheim. Sanchez kept his spot, as we all knew he would, realistically, and he proved that what's the right word? He thanked the manager for that trust today with a brilliant performance. Brilliant performance. He only made 3 saves, but two of those 3, maybe all 3, were absolutely crucial. And in big moments, strong saves. The first one on Wesley Fofana's mistake that RC keeps going on about in the chat, where he just kind of, I don't really know, he was ahead of Watkins and then he just kind of missed the ball and fell over. I still don't really know how that happened. But yeah, Sanchez came out really well. Should Watkins have just squared in? They had a tap in, sure, but Watkins is just terrible and not as good as Nicolas Jackson. But Sanchez still did really well to stop that, come out, make the angle tight. The near post low down save that he made from Ollie Watkins as well was really strong. Can't remember the last save he made, if I'm honest, but I'm sure it was decent. Passing accuracy, I mean, the majority was long balls that he misplaced. Only one misplaced pass on the ground that I can't remember. I was very happy with him today. You know, can't complain at all. Really can't complain at all with Robert Sanchez today. Guys, what rating would you give Robert Sanchez? Because, I'm thinking an 8, you know. Now, can you say what else could he have done better? And you could even give him a 9 or a 10. There is that case to be made because he wasn't tested that much. He kept the clean sheet. And every time he was tested, he did very well. But then again, he was only tested 3 times. So it's like, it's one of those, isn't it? So that's why I'm intrigued to see what you guys think. Oh, well, look at this. The Demonent says 8. Max says 8. Kevin says 8. Damn, Jackson didn't get booked, man. Yeah, that's not ideal, is it? Let's just hope he doesn't get booked against Southampton either. Maybe he doesn't play against Southampton. Could be true. What am I saying? What am I reading? Sorry. Gusto needs to watch that tape and watch how Caicedo wasn't taking up the right half spaces where Palmer is most deadly. But you got to consider Caicedo didn't play the same position that Gusto did. So let me quickly show you what I mean. So let's pretend Caicedo is Gusto. When that has happened, obviously this has usually happened when Caicedo played with Lavia in the pivot. So let's pretend Enzo is Caicedo. And then Gusto starting here, Palmer was the left half space, and then Gusto was supposed to play this position. Caicedo today wasn't supposed to play that position. Caicedo today was supposed to invert into midfield, which is not what Gusto was being asked to do as of late. So it's not quite the same. But I still understand what you're talking about. Is the right decision we sack Pochettino? Absolutely. Are we not getting Anselmino in January as Argentina League finishes in December? Now, that was talked about, but as far as I know, and as far as I remember reading a few months ago or weeks ago, it was agreed that he would stay with Boca Juniors. He's from Boca Juniors, right? Or is he from River Plate? I'm pretty sure it's Boca Juniors. With until the summer. But maybe we could change that plan. But realistically, is Anselmino turning up straight away? Is he ready to start? Because we need a starter. Like, we need someone to start while Wesley Fofana is injured. Now, Enzo Maresca confirmed after the game already that it is a hamstring injury. He said 4 to 5 weeks out. I don't know how he can decide that or judge that so quickly without having a scan on the injury. But yeah, Sanchez did an absolute beautiful pass. We've been told he has hit. He has it in the locker. Just haven't seen it much. Well, he can pass. The problem is he's just very inconsistent with his passing. That's more the problem, I would say. Concerns that Sanchez was very good. I don't understand why we got this ass. He was never a fit, 100%. And a waste of money as well. Like, he cost over 40 million as well. He cost a lot more than Badiashile did, and he's not even half as good as Badiashile is. It's weird. Jurgen should continue to push Sanchez. Lamo, he performed. Yeah, he did. Yeah. You guys are happy. Max P is passing. Accuracy is usually trash. Every terrible passer like Sanchez can have a good day. I think Sanchez isn't necessarily in principle a bad passer. I don't think that's fair on him. He just makes the wrong decisions sometimes. For example, that pass to Caicedo last week against Leicester. So unnecessary to put him under pressure. It's not like the pass itself was bad, but the decision to play that pass was the problem. He was good today. I give him an 8. 8 again from another one. Fire Red Sanchez had one really good long ball forward. He did 8.5 just because of that pass he did. Honestly, I don't really remember the pass, if I'm honest. But yeah. I hear that, but the coaches insist he has that ability. Let's see. Hopefully he keeps it up. Fair. I want to give him a point less just because this means he can play to this level and chooses not to. I'm not sure if he chooses not to, but yeah. Jackson could have had 3. At least 2. I think the one where Martinez essentially passes it at him would be a bit harsh to be too critical of it. But I mean, guys, I love that you're so active right now, and please continue being so active in the chat. But I might not be able to react to every comment because otherwise we're never going to finish this. People are too harsh on Gusto. Manager came out saying he's still learning to play 3 positions. Thank you. Very good comment. Ricardo Jackson, the new nightmare for position defenders. Absolutely. Unfortunately, Wes is always a clumsy tackle away from another injury. That is not wrong, because that time when he looked like he got injured a few weeks ago, he kind of did a bad tackle, looked like he twisted his knee. Today he got injured by accidentally stepping on the ball, then the ball slipped under him and he kind of stretched his hamstring that way. Very unlucky. Do we trust the sporting director's process now? Oh, this is a difficult question, Ricky, and an interesting one. And I understand why you pose it to me or why you pose it to other people who have been critical. Now, have a lot of the things that a lot of the players that they've signed worked? Yes. But can we ignore that the reason why a lot of it is looking so good is that the second string team is facing far, far, far inferior teams in the Conference League? If Dewsbury Hall would be playing in the Europa League or the Champions League, would he look acceptable at all? No. Terrible player. 30 million, absolutely down the drain. Don't forget Disasi, although was Disasi signed? No, Disasi was signed by the sporting director. So there's a few of these signings. Like, I like João Felix, but is there a true need for him? Once we already had Nkunku, because the signing of João Felix just meant that Nkunku always has to play striker, where he's terrible. It's a tough one. Mudryk is out of favor. I heard he's gone on loan in January. No, that's not true. No. He's not out of favor at all. He starts every Thursday game, and he plays really well there. That's just, he's going to play mostly there. I don't think he's out of favor at all, personally. Festive season game starts. We got injury in Fofana. Testing time ahead for player fitness injury. Yeah, absolutely. Sanchez lacks concentration. I agree. Mudryk linked to Fiorentina. I don't know what links you've seen there, but trust me, Mudryk is not going anywhere. I feel we're too open at times when we invert, and it's going to cost us at some point. I hear that, but it's also part of the plan. Like, it's part of the risk we are willing to take, because part of the reason why we create as much as we do against everyone, nearly. Like, have we had a game this season where we basically didn't create anything? That doesn't happen, really. So, it happens that we concede chances that we're a bit open, but I think we're just willing to take exactly that risk. We can't trust these DLR sport directors to sign defender, goalkeeper, Disasi, Badiashile, Sanchez, etc. Yeah. Before we can fully praise the sporting directors, we need to win trophies 100%. Felix has to start against Southampton. The question is, instead of who? Will he start instead of Palmer? I doubt it. For every good signing, we have a bad one. Yeah, maybe. Felix, you can consider as trade-off to not let Gallagher go on free. Can you? Is it that simple? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Because you could have got Jhon Duran. Could have done. All we needed to do was offer Villa a little bit more money. I mean, I know Gallagher said no as well, but I'm sure we could have made things happen. I'm sure we could have done. Yeah, I can see Disasi, Chilwell, Carney all gone in January. See, now that with this Fofana injury, I very much doubt that Disasi will go in January personally, but we'll see. It obviously depends on if we sign a centre-back, when do we sign him, right? Is it going to be more like January 27th or 30th, or is it going to be January 2nd? That makes a big difference. I believe in Maresca. I do too, but again, wrong side. Gallagher is the squad player at Atletico. Yeah, and he could be a great squad player for us, as he should be. But anyways, we gave Sanchez that 8. Let's look at the other ratings. Let's look at the centre-backs, because they were all brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We start off with Levi Colwill. 93% passing accuracy, 8 misplaced passes. How many of them were long balls? 3 of them only, to be fair. But still, 100 successful passes in the game is always a good stat. 117 touches. 4 passes into the final third from his position. Very good. Never was dispossessed. 1 out of 2 tackles. 2 out of 5 ground duels. Okay, that could be a bit better. 1 out of 2 aerial duels could be, it's okay, I guess, but could be a bit better as well. The most impressive thing about him today was clearing that header from their corner away from essentially the goal line. That was the most impressive thing that Fofana did. What am I seeing? Max says 8 for Fofana. I can see getting a centre-back in January. I do as well. 7 for Fofana from the Chelsea boy. Fofana was shaky before he went off. I disagree, but we'll see. Colwill, 8.5. Yeah, I mean, put your guys' rating for Levi Colwill in the chat. We gave Sanchez an 8. I'm between a 7.5 and an 8, guys. I'm between a 7.5 and an 8 for Colwill. Dawson says 7. Kevin says 7.5. If we get another centre-back, Disasi is gone, in my opinion. Possibly. Uzaiya says 8 as well. It's a tough one. And we're somehow, I mean, to be fair, someone did say 8.5 even. I will give all players good ratings, but Villa were not good. I didn't get their tactics. They didn't press and made it easy. Yeah. Where is Charlie? I don't know. But I hope he's doing well. 8 for the clean sheet. Okay. We're getting a lot of 8s now. So let's give Colwill that 8 as well. Seems then almost like, you know what? I'm going to give Sanchez an 8.5 then. Because I think Sanchez was more perfect, closer to perfect than Colwill was. But I still think Colwill's very good. To be fair, I think he shouldn't have quite the same rating as Sanchez. So we'll move on. We'll go to Wesley Fofana because he seems to be the most controversial one, judging by this chat. So let me open the pop-up screen up again so we can look at the stats. What have I just seen? Gilchrist is better than Disasi. Are you wrong? No. No, I don't. I didn't. Absolutely. I didn't forget at all. It was better than Disasi. I mean, yeah, fair enough. 6 from Concern, 4 for Fofana, 7 from Max B. I would give him a 7. 7.5. You know what? I'll give him a 7.5. I know some of the chat won't be happy with this. We'll see. I'll let a few more of you to share your thoughts and your rating for Wesley Fofana, and then I'll see what you think. I'll give you a couple more seconds. Going through the stats, only 2 misplaced passes, very strong. Didn't play a long ball, so fair enough. 2 out of 2 tackles, strong. 3 out of 5 ground duels, better than Colwill. Wasn't in an air duel, fair enough. Yeah, I'll give him a 7.5, I think. Let me see what more of the chat. Multiple times. I feel like I saw it once. Okay, there's a lot of 7s here. Any news on Fofana injury? Well, let me bring it up for you because there is. There is. Where is it? Who was man of the match? None of the players that Chelsea offered as man of the match options in their vote are, in my opinion, realistically man of the match. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking for the quote of what Maresca said about his injury. There you go. I've got it for you now. I'm not sure how we've been able to make this statement so soon, if I'm being totally honest with you. No, I opened the wrong thing. These are Caicedo stats. That's not what I wanted to show you. Enzo Maresca says Fofana has a hamstring injury and will be out for 4 to 5 weeks. Obviously, 4 to 5 weeks from now will be until just after the Christmas period, which is really disappointing because this is the busiest and toughest time of the season where we need the squad, we need the players. There's less easy midweek games, so we can rotate the team as much. So this is tough. But yeah, Chelsea boy even says 6.5 for Fofana. Always does this thing where he's always trying to pinch the ball instead of standing attackers up, and sometimes he loses out, like today when he let Watkins turn him and he got on goal easily. Yeah. I mean, not sure if turn him is the right word. To me, he just missed the ball. I mean, yeah, for the year, but that sounds harsh. Like it's December 1st. Let's just call it a bit more than a month, right? Speedy recovery to Fofana. Yeah, absolutely. It's over. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's over, but yeah, maybe it's not severe, but they're being cautious with giving him extra time off. Honestly, I think for now, I don't really know how they're supposed to know that. I think all of us, especially myself, we followed this enough, these kind of things, that we know he needs to have a scan on his hamstring. And only then will they really know. So I don't know how he made this call before a scan took place. Are we still scouting Thomas Araujo? As far as I know, we are still scouting him. Whether that means we're going to try to sign him, we'll see. Colwill pocketed Rodgers today. Absolutely. But let's go back to the rating screen. Too many of you have said 7. For me, just say 7.5. So I'll give him the 7. I think some people saying 6 and 6.5 is a bit too harsh. Maybe a 7.5 is too high. So we'll give Fofana a 7. And move over to Marco Correa. And honestly, we could be talking about a 10 rating here. But let's look at some stats. But he was utterly phenomenal. The amount of tackles and clearances this guy turned out with today, outrageous. 4 misplaced passes, 96% passing accuracy. Unbelievable. Accurate long balls, 50% as well, is decent. Can't complain about that. 12 passes into the final third. Of course, can't forget. What? What do you mean he didn't get an assist? What? Are you guys as confused as I am? He absolutely did get the assist for the first goal, no? Who on earth else got that assist? I'm absolutely blown away. What? I thought the assessment period usually take longer time to determine how long a player is out for. Yeah, no, exactly. They certainly need a scan first. But sure, Cole will be fine for now. Toasting up next, then disaster. 9, 10, 8.5, 9.5. Created the first goal and was a rock solid in defense. 9. Cucurella was immense, absolute monster. Cucurella today was something else. What are your thoughts on us being in a title race? I think we're not. I think Liverpool are in a title race and no one else really is. It was deflected, but was the cross deflected? I think he assisted Jackson. For me, this is an assist. I'm counting Cucurella as having an assist today. It's an assist on FPL. FPL knows much better. So let's do that. So absolutely an assist. Absolutely an assist. But yeah, look at the other stats. Let's go down. 3 out of 4 tackles. Again, 4 out of 7 ground duels. 1 out of 1 aerial duel. Only committed 1 foul as well, which is quite strong. Only got dribbled past 1. 6 recoveries. 7 defensive actions. 2 headed clearances. 2 clearances. Brilliant. I genuinely do not know what Marco Correa could have done better today. He got an assist, even if FOTMob doesn't think so. He got an assist, was inch perfect defensively, stopped pretty much everything that went near him. I mean, 1 or 2 people of you said 10. Do I give him a 10? I'm not sure, guys. What do you think? Does he warrant a 10? I mean, he kind of does. What more do I want from a left centre-back? They're getting an assist, keeping a clean sheet, and being absolutely brilliant. You know what? Sod it. What's the point of being negative? Maybe we'll dish out multiple 10s today. Who cares? Nah. Was Cucurella better than Caicedo? The same, man. The same. Maybe I'll give him out 2 10s today. I don't care. Cucurella is getting a 10. Have it, man. Have it. I'm giving him a 10. A 10 says 10. Textbook defending from Cucurella. Tackled at the right time. Stood his man up at the right time. 9 is fair. Fair enough. Chelsea the back 3, something else. Only in possession, by the way. Back 3. Villa fans thought we draw. Lol, they got humbled. They did. For sure was a 10. Yeah, exactly. Caicedo certainly deserves a 10. So 10 is a bit more special for me, but that's just me. Yeah, I hear that too. But then again, how does a defender get it? Do you know what I mean? Like Caicedo didn't score, and we're all seemingly thinking he should get a 10 as well. So I'll just ride the optimistic and the positive train, shall I? Let's give Cucurella that 10. Let's give him that 10. And we move on to that man, Moises Caicedo. What a performance. What a performance. Utterly unbelievable. I hope we do this a little bit more often now, especially with these injuries, to play him a right back and invert him into midfield. That allows Enzo and Lavia to also play. I would be happy. Good passing accuracy. Obviously, could be a tad better, but he was involved very much so. Okay, the long balls could be a bit better, although that wasn't always just necessarily a bad long ball, just a bit unlucky on a few occasions. Successful dribble. How? This is a lie. This is a lie. All these stats are a lie. What is this? I mean, we literally watched him have the best tackle of the game. And we watched him have another phenomenal tackle that the referee wrongly gave us a foul. 3 out of 5 ground duels as well. Nah, I don't care what these stats say. Sometimes stats are true. Sometimes they're not. I'm giving him a 10 as well. I can't give Cucurella a 10 and not give Caicedo a 10. So they're definitely both getting one. Maybe a bit high. I don't care. I'm riding the positivity train. I love it. I absolutely love it. Moises Caicedo, what a player. Let me elaborate a little bit. Honestly, I feel so truly at heart that I never, ever thought that we would even get close to replacing N'Golo Kante. And I'm not saying Moises Caicedo is N'Golo Kante, but my God, we have replaced N'Golo Kante. Unbelievable player. He can play right back. He can play DM alone. He can play number 8. He can play double pivot. He's so good. He scores goals, scores big goals. Remember, at United. What a player. That assist, the assist that he gets, one at Liverpool, at Anfield, the one at West Ham. What a player. What a player Moises Caicedo is. Unbelievable. Now, did we overpay? And if our sport directors were more capable, could we have got him for 15, 20 million less than what we did pay? Yeah. But it doesn't matter now, does it? He's absolutely unbelievable. He shut up all his critics once he settled. Yeah, he did. Moises Caicedo, take a bow. I love you. I truly do. Move on to Romeo Lavia. For me, maybe alongside Neto. We'll get into that. Probably our quietest player today. There was a couple of occasions where I felt Lavia was a bit of a liability. We won the ball back on 2 occasions near our box. And his the next pass forward that he played was intercepted. And then that's the most dangerous moment to lose possession. When you just win it quite low in your own half, and then you try to break and attack, and then you lose the ball because everybody's spreading out. Everybody's shifting positions the way we obviously play with our fluid systems. Losing the ball then, too dangerous. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Needs to be careful with that. But again, can't forget. The kid is 20 years old and missed the entirety of last season. He's still having an absolutely phenomenal season when he's playing. Only 6 misplaced passes. Can't complain with that. Okay, dribbles could be a bit stronger. Ground duels don't look great. I'll give Lavia a 6.5. I'll give him a 6.5. I'll give him... Oh, okay. I'm surprised. Lavia 8, 7 for me, 8, 7.5. I'm surprised, guys. I'm surprised. Am I harsh? I was thinking 6.5, man. Like I say, it was a liability on a couple of occasions. Then the stats, I mean, I know I said the stats don't matter for Caicedo, but 1 out of 7 ground duels ain't good enough, man. 1 out of 7 ground duels, you can't be doing that. Can you? 1 out of 7 ground duels, guys. Really, are you okay with that? Are you happy with that? Surely not, right? Surely we're not giving someone having 1 out of 7 ground duels a 7.5 or an 8. I let you have a 7 if you really want, just because I'm nice like that. But I'm not giving him higher than that. I'll give him a 7 if you want, though. Like, so more of you get involved. Tell me what you think and what you would have given him. He was good, bar that moment you mentioned. Fair. I think he was the weakest of the midfield 3. I agree. I pray Pep doesn't come for Palmer or Lavia. Well, good luck. He's really good at picking passes in midfield. I mean, he is. I'm not saying he was bad. I'm just saying he was overall fairly good, but had moments that were quite bad and nearly costly. I guess you can say the same for Fofana, but Fofana only got a 7. Do you know what I mean? I dropped a 7.5. Cole was better. 7 is fair. I'll give him a 7 because I'm nice, but honestly, I think it was more of a 6.5. But maybe a 7 is good. 7 is good. Romeo Lavia, still shout out you. 20 years old, can't forget that. And then we move on to Enzo Fernandez. My God, I'm very happy with him at the moment. I can't lie. Like, bloody hell, Enzo Fernandez is doing a job and a half. Let me scroll if I can find that little... give me a second. I'm just scrolling, just seeing if I can find a tweet I saw about Enzo Fernandez. I can't. So, anyways, I bring a picture of his celebration up because that made me happy. That was a good one. Sorry, this is what happens when you obviously stream by yourself. Sometimes you need to do things at the same time. So apologies again, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that like button for me. I would really appreciate it. Enzo Fernandez, he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Now there was 1 or 2 misplaced passes where I'm like, didn't need that. But the goal was great. The defending was fantastic. There was one counter-attack he started, through ball to Jackson. He played Jackson through 1-1 with the keeper. And Jackson skied, unfortunately, put it over. But in general, I thought Enzo Fernandez was brilliant. Post-divorce, Enzo has been good. I can't lie. He's been really, really good. That's the stats I was looking for in terms of all his goals and assists since getting the divorce, basically. Actually, let me see. Maybe there was something else in here. Was it in my group chat? No, wasn't in my group chat either. Well, it doesn't matter. We move on to his stats. Shall we look at Enzo's stats, see what those say? We highlight Enzo and make it bigger so you can actually see what I'm looking at. Lovely finish from him. Absolutely, was a fantastic finish. 1 goal, of course. 10 misplaced passes, 83% accuracy. Can't complain with that. Accurate long balls, 0 out of 2. I've not seen that from Enzo Fernandez, so that's surprising. Crosses as well. But still, 2 out of 2 dribbles. It's good. 1 out of 3 tackles again, felt like more. 6 out of 11 ground duels. Well, at least it's more than 50%. Yeah. I think because he scored, and I think because he helped us create attacks, he stopped attacks, he did everything you really wanted. And what I love so much is, yes, he's still playing this position where we were critical earlier in the season when he's playing there too much. But because of the way it is, and that out of possession Fofana was, Caicedo was down here, and then Enzo was here. That means when we get the ball, as we progress up the pitch and shape up the way we want to shape up, Enzo is down here, receives the ball, helps in build-up, helps evading pressure, helps evading the press. And then as he pushes up, Lavia pushes over here, Caicedo comes up here. And so that's why Enzo Fernandez is the way it is in this kind of game, the way we set up our system. He's able to kind of be crucial in defensive areas and in offensive areas, and more of a box-to-box player rather than almost this permanent number 10. I think this suits him much better. I also think he's, you never know. I don't want to say, obviously I say it as a joke, right? Divorce your wife and everything. But you never know. Maybe the home life wasn't as nice anymore. Maybe that was part of an issue for him. Maybe that was part of the reason why he was struggling a little bit at times. I'm not 100% sure. But today, and as of late, he's been brilliant. Favole says 8.5. Concerns says 8.5. Enzo wife, an Arsenal fan. I'm glad he divorced. She's an Arsenal fan, is he? Yeah, he did. Well, I'm not sure if they officially got the divorce yet, but they officially announced, his wife officially announced that they were splitting up a few weeks ago. Like, when I say a few weeks ago, a month and a half ago, maybe something like that. Yeah, so I don't know if they've officially divorced yet, but they're certainly separated. So Enzo Fernandez, shout out you, 8.5 from me. Let me move on to the next player on the pitch. Who is the next player on the pitch? Cole bloody Palmer. Now, I said it in the very, very beginning of the stream. Some of you might not have been here. I even tweeted during the game that maybe we should take Cole Palmer off for João Felix, because I didn't think he had the best game. I didn't think he was the most influential, even though he got the assist, obviously, for Enzo Fernandez early in the game. But then he turned around and was like, Loz, shut the flip up. Don't ask me to get subbed off ever again. Let me show you why not. What a goal. Like that. Oh, my God. The guy scores so many beautiful goals. I loved it. The little shimmy and the shot. Top corner. It was gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. You know what I'm actually going to do, guys? Because I have a video. Obviously, not taken by myself, as you can see where I am sat. Obviously, where I am sitting right now. What? Man United won 4-0 with 0.79 XG. That's crazy. But I will ignore the sound. I will download a video, and then I will show you guys the video, and hopefully you'll enjoy it, because it's a beautiful video. Sorry, give me just a second. We'll get there. We'll get there. Lewis just uploads way too many pictures onto here, and then there's never any free to actually upload any new things. So that's rather annoying, mate. Lewis, stop doing that, please. Stop doing that. Can I do it now? Sorry, guys. Stick with me. Yes, now the video is uploading. So give me half a second, and then I can show you the goal from Cole Palmer, recorded from the Matthew Harding, and it's processing. Should be done any second. There we go. Watch this go, guys. I think my face might be gone, but watch this go. Absolute scenes. What a worldie of a goal. Absolute scenes. My God, Cole Palmer, I love you. I can see us beating Southampton. Their threat out. Sure. Cole Palmer is him. He truly is him. Right. Assist and a great goal and a decent performance. 8. Yeah. I would probably go for something around an 8 as well. Let's look at the stats. Obviously goal, obviously assist. We spoke about those. 5 shots in total. Only 3 misplaced passes, which is very strong. Very rarely gave the ball away today, which is fantastic. 3 out of 4 shots on target. 1 out of 1 accurate long balls. Crosses. 4 out of 4 accurate long balls. Phenomenal. 1 out of 1 tackle as well. 2 out of 2 ground duels. Phenomenal. There was one moment early in the game where I thought he was a bit lazy in pressing, and they had a pretty big chance out of it. Actually, the one where Fofana slightly messed up, that was initially started. The whole front line was pressing. They shifted it to their left back, and Cole Palmer was just a bit lazy to close him down, and it allowed them to kind of play it through us, especially with Caicedo obviously shifting in that moment. So yeah, in total, I didn't think it was his best game. Nice hair, just noticed. My hair? Whose hair? I'm confused. I didn't have my hair cut recently. 3 weeks ago or something. Anyway, I don't think you care about my hair at all. Cole Palmer, I'll give him an 8. I'll give him an 8. I know he scored a worldie. I know he scored an assist as well. But I just think overall Enzo had a better game than Palmer did. But obviously Palmer was still great. And he's just ridiculous. And again, I'll scroll down to this now, because bloody hell, it's just out of this world. So let me just see if I can find this one at least. I know Pies for sure tweeted it. There you go. So there you go. I'll share it now so we can look at it together. 47 goals and assists in 46 Premier League games. Absolutely sensational player. Again, I'm not sure if this is just at Chelsea or including his few games at City, where obviously have very few stars. 47 goals and assists in 46 league games. Are you mad? Are you mad, Cole? This is not normal. This is not normal at all. I'll show you another one as well. Even though this has actually changed now. I'll show you this. Wait, let me just remove the comment. Sorry. The color. The color? I'm confused. Anyway, this was during our game. So Cole Palmer, 47 goals and assists since the start of last Premier League season. Erling Haaland, 44. Mo Salah, 44. Now, Mo Salah, since then, has played against Man City, got the assist for the 1-0, scored the 2-0 from the penalty spot. But penalties, man. Mo Salah and Erling Haaland score penalties. Oh, to be fair, so does Cole Palmer. Ignore me. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. He's ridiculously good. It's not even normal how good he is. It's crazy. It's just an absolutely crazy guy. Like where we got him from, no idea. Absolutely. 8 for Palmer, you guys agree. Sancholini, 8 as well. Sancholini, yeah. World class. He's Haaland with assists. He's Haaland with assists. Truly is. Or just Salah with actually footballing quality. World class is thrown around too often, but Cole is truly world class. Yes, he is. Cascade. Yeah, he is utterly phenomenal. Cole Palmer, thank you. Thank you for choosing Chelsea Football Club. Thank you. Thank you, Joe Shields. Let me say. Thank you, Joe Shields. Let's do Sancho. I was very happy with Sancho, except for one small moment where had he gone down, and I think that was maybe at 1-0, potentially at 2-0. I can't really remember if I'm honest, guys. Oh, look who's turned up. Look who's here. Pys, the man himself. I think it's Pys anyway, unless it's a fake account. But if this is Pys, up the Chelsea, up the Pys. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow for when we record our podcast. We need to sort of time for that. But I'm already buzzing for it. So again, ladies and gentlemen, link to our podcast is down in the description. New episode every single Tuesday. Get involved, listen, you'll have fun, you'll enjoy. Jadon Sancho, what am I seeing? Max P says 7. Sipo says 7. Who is your favorite player from this current generation? Ooh, tough question. I will get back to it. He needs to shoot the ball. He did shoot once. Got deflected. Referee gave a goal kick anyway. It's me. Well, to be honest, even if it wasn't you, you would probably say that. But I appreciate you for tuning in, my guy. He should have gone down. Yeah, he should have gone down. That was the only real criticism that I have on Jadon Sancho. Yeah, that was a pen. If he goes down, I think I need to see it again. I'm pretty sure it was. Sancho was good today. Yeah, he was. He was good today. He was. Now, is Sancho the perfect player? No, but he is so good at dribbling and just manipulating the ball, stopping him from getting intercepted. He's just crazy good at that. That was like 31 accurate passes, not a single misplaced pass. That's strong. Dribbles, okay, 0 out of 2. I'm not sure how that's happened then, but fair enough. Worked his socks off. Okay, only 1 out of 6 rounds. Not so great. But yeah, he does his tracking back. He's an outlet. He receives the ball. He never gets the ball away. He takes his man on. I'm a big fan of Jadon Sancho. I was surprised that he started again today after starting on Thursday, but hey, it worked. So I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to give him a 7. I think I'm going to give him a 7. A lot of people in the chat have also said 7. Obviously, guys, put your rating for Jadon Sancho in here. I think a 7 is fair. I think he did good. Not as good as Cole Palmer, not as good as Enzo Fernandez, but good. Honestly, you know what? I have to do it. I think Sancho was better than Lavia. So I'm taking Lavia down to a 6.5. And I know maybe it's harsh, but I don't think Sancho warrants a 7.5. So that's why I'm going to give Sancho a 7 and Lavia a 6.5. Pys, if you're still here, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with giving Lavia a lower rating? What would you rate Lavia today, Pys? Let me know if you're here. 6.8 for Sancho. Fair enough. Neto, 10? What? Fair enough. I mean, I'm not going to give him a 10, but fair dues. What are you thinking? He should get a 10. Sancho, 7. Absolutely. You're being harsh on Lavia. Am I? Do you think he was as good as Sancho was? I mean, maybe I am. Maybe I am. You know what? I'll give you guys a poll. How about that? Let's give you a poll. Start a poll. Rating out of 10 for Romeo Lavia. And you can choose between 6.5 and 7. Start poll. So, guys, you can now, in a second, place your rating for Romeo Lavia in the chat. Lavia was 7 at least. Very good when Villa pressed us. I mean, that's not wrong. Yeah, it was just for me, there was a couple of occasions where it just, as we won the ball, and I talked about it earlier, but we won the ball and he played it forward and he misplaced those passes, and those are the really, really dangerous ones. And we looked at his stats. He only had 1 out of 7 ground duels, which as a centre mid DM, I don't think it's good enough, but fair enough. Hey, the chat says I'm too harsh. Pys says was 7 at least. So, hey, I'll give him that 7 again. Fair enough. Even though I think Sancho was better, let's give him a 7. Why not? We move on to Pedro Neto, who I thought personally, I think he doesn't warrant the same rating as Sancho. I don't think so. I think he was a little bit worse. Maybe not. I mean, FOTMob's rating certainly disagrees. But I think it would be too harsh if Pedro Neto is the only player in the squad, in the team, that gets only a 6.5. So, yeah, I mean, he misplaced a couple of passes, unlike Sancho. I'm not saying he was bad, but okay, he's 3 out of 4 dribbles, so he tried a lot in that sense. 1 out of 7 crosses, that should be better. I have to say that should be better. 2 out of 3 long balls, good. tackles. Ground duels are strong, to be fair. He did good in that sense. Obviously, switched sides in the second half when Maresca came on and for Sancho. Neto switched over to the other side. I mean, he just about scrapes a 7, or I give him a 6.5. Was tremendous. Tracked back brilliantly and was dangerous going forward. Adjusted to 9. But was he dangerous going forward? What did he do that was dangerous? He had one shot where he was played through nicely, showed his pace, but the shot was terrible. Neto defensively is the best thing I've seen. To be fair, no, absolutely. I'm not even trying to debate that at all. Phenomenal. But yeah, to be fair, maybe the defensive work is enough to give him that 7. Obviously, his side, for the most part, right, was the side of Caicedo, where Caicedo pushes into midfield. So the right-hand side needed a lot of defending. Allow it, man. Man, you're giving him a 9, bro, for doing nothing, essentially. Like, that terrible shot. But fair enough. I'll give him a 7 as well. No 6.5s today. Hey, we won 3-0 at the same time. So, maybe I'm just being too critical. Sorry, guys. 6.5 for Pedro Neto. And we move on to the last player of the starting 11, Nicolas Jackson. Again, I need to scroll through some tweets to find some stats because there are a few stats that I would like to see. Where's the first one? First one, again, shout out you, Pice. I love to use your tweets for these things. Let's add some great crosses, very dangerous. Just need players to take advantage of them. Yeah, I mean, that's not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong with that. But on Nicolas Jackson, more non-penalty goals than Mohamed Salah since the start of last season. Thankfully, Mo Salah in the game after hours didn't score other than from a penalty. So this stat remains the same. Again, people forget quite how good Nicolas Jackson is. What a player, what a striker. Buy me a backup for Jackson. That is not Nkunku, so we actually have a backup because when Nkunku came on for Jackson today, it was shocking. It was shocking how bad we got instantly. Now, should Jackson have done a bit better on a couple of the chances that he had, especially when Enzo played him through? Yes. But still, that first goal, great finish, great work. Always dangerous, always a hassle, always a handful. Love him. Absolutely love him. And I want to show another little stat. I think this one was from Chelsea. There you go. Can you still see? Yes. Nicolas Jackson opened the scoring within 10 minutes on 4 separate occasions in 2024. This was last season against Newcastle after 6 minutes, against Wolves after 2 minutes earlier this season, against West Ham after 4 minutes earlier this season, and against Aston Villa today at home after 7 minutes. What a player. Absolutely, utterly phenomenal. Let's look at his stats. Didier Jackson. To be fair, Jackson himself said he doesn't like these comparisons, but yeah, there you go. So 9 from Max P. Took the goal brilliantly. I think 7.5. I mean, let's look at the stats. I'm not 100% sure yet what I'll give Jackson. Obviously, he scored the goal, had 3 shots, especially the one that where he was played through. This one should have been a bit better, even though the XG is surprisingly low, in my opinion. 13 out of 17 passes. There was one of these misplaced passes was to Sancho, where I thought more Sancho was a bit slow to realize what's happening. 2 out of 3 shots on target. Accurate long ball as well. The ground duels should have been a bit better. I think I'll agree with this comment, I'll agree with this comment by, who was it? Uzaya. I'll give Jackson a 7.5. Could I argue a 7? Maybe, but I think giving us the lead in this game so early on played a crucial factor in us getting this win and playing the way we did. Pice even gives him an 8. Honestly, I don't think you're necessarily far off. Is your favorite, so you're biased? Fair enough. Fair enough. Max P would give him a 9, 8.5, 7.5. Could have had an assist. He played Parma and he missed a 1v1. I'm not sure 1v1 is fair, but I know the chance he's talking about, to be fair. Pice says 8 for Nicolas Jackson. Should I give Jackson an 8? What are we even saying on Lavia? Giving you a poll. To be fair, so far the 7 has certainly won. Again, place your vote in the live chat. In the poll in the live chat. Below me, if you're on mobile, next to me, this side. If you're on desktop, so head over there, place your vote, please. 7.5 for Nico by Dawson. I think, sorry, Pice, I mean, hey, we can discuss it in our pod if you want to, but I think I'll stick to a 7.5. Not because I think he was bad, by any stretch of the imagination, obviously, I'm giving him a 7.5. But I think he had 2 other chances, one in particular where he could have done a bit better. And a few counterattack. Oh, yeah, and he had actually 3 where he could have done better. The one where obviously Martinez kind of passed it at him. Not going to be criticizing him for that. But there was one other time when he was kind of through on goal and took a slightly heavy touch. and that's why he didn't get a shot off away anymore. So that's a bit disappointing. Expressing is good, but then the missed opportunities are a bit frustrating. Yeah, I mean, hey, we won 3-0, so today I'm not particularly frustrated by it, but I'm going to give him a 7.5. I'm going to give him a 7.5. And we move on to the other screen so we can actually look at the subs we made, because we made a fair few. Obviously, one of them forced through injury. Benoit Badiashile coming on for Wesley Fofana after 60 minutes already. Played 17 out of 17 accurate passes. Can't complain with that. 2 out of 2 successful long balls, 1 out of 1 tackle, 1 out of 3 ground duels. Okay, could be better, but it's only 3. So I think Badiashile did good. I'll give him as a sub. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. And Nkunku, 7 out of 8 passes. Good, to be fair. That shot. Don't remember that one, to be fair. That was terrible. Oh, yeah. One thing I forgot to talk about. Not much to say on Nkunku. Maybe an NA is more fair for these guys. Got an assist, to be fair, for Cole Palmer. Not the most spectacular assist of all time, but his first assist of the season, so still good. 5 out of 5 accurate passes. Obviously, Cole Palmer, Madueke also playing goalkeeper against Cole Palmer last weekend against Leicester. So he owed him that one. So I'm glad he provided it. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to give them ratings. I'll give him Nkunku. He gets a 6.5. Sorry, guys. I know he did moments where he was good. No, you give him a 6 because I just think, and this is not his fault because he's not a striker, but when Nkunku comes on for Jackson, it ruins the whole attacking play. It literally does. Because he drops deep, not like Jackson does. He occupies spaces where there's other players already, and then he crowds those spaces and doesn't fill the spaces that need to be filled by the striker. And I get it. He's not a striker, but bro, you're being used as a striker. You need to fill those positions. You have to. And yeah, Gusto, 13 accurate passes in that 5 minutes that he played. Fair enough. Can't complain with that, but didn't do anything else. Not obviously required. João Felix got himself booked rather unnecessarily. Still 100% passing accuracy. So yeah. Moving over to that screen to do all the subs. We obviously have Badiashile written down already. I didn't actually look who all these guys came on for, if I'm being totally honest. Let me just think and actually use my mind. Nkunku for Jackson makes sense. Madueke for Sancho makes also sense. Gusto for Lavia. And João Felix for Cole Palmer. So let me write that down. We had Sancho replaced by Madueke. We had Madueke. Jackson replaced by Nkunku. Lavia replaced by Gusto. And Cole Palmer replaced by Felix. Felix gets an NA. Gusto gets an NA. Badiashile, I said it already. I'll give him a 7 with a star. Obviously, didn't play the whole game, but for the period that he played, he didn't do anything wrong. So a 7 it shall be. I give Nkunku a 6. I'm sorry. I know. But it just annoys me how much he makes us worse when he plays this position. I'm like, Jackson never plays him midweek. Why does he even need to be subbed off? I don't understand. If you want to bring Nkunku on, bring him on as the 10. But don't always bring him on for Jackson. I don't understand that. Maybe it's because he will play on Wednesday, I suppose, which is quite close, obviously, because we played Sunday today. But yeah, there you go. And Noni Madueke, because he got himself an assist in this very little time that he was on the pitch, I'll give him a 7 as well. And then we finish it off with our manager, Enzo Maresca. I mean, he is doing good things at the moment, isn't he? I think a lot of people are getting more and more impressed and more created a big chance with this run and shot. To be fair, he did. But he just wasn't on the pitch for long enough for me to give him a rating. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Enzo Maresca is doing brilliant things. Even some of the doubters that there were are starting to get on board, and I'm like, wow, we're doing good things. Like, I know Aston Villa have obviously been in bad form. They hadn't won in 7 games. Now it's 8 games that they hadn't won. But they're still not a bad team. And, you know, me and Pies and Charlie were discussing this yesterday on the previous stream, where it was like, it's always tough playing teams that are clearly good teams, but in bad form, because bad form ends at some point. And you never want to be that team where their bad form ends. And thankfully it wasn't today. But I think Enzo Maresca was utterly phenomenal today. What more can he have done? I think he picked the right players. He picked the right team. I love the tactical change. Okay, we don't have a right back. Let me play Caicedo there. Invert him into midfield. Get Enzo, Lavia, and Caicedo working. Enzo scoring a goal. Caicedo having, you know, arguably being man of the match. Potentially alongside Cucurella. Difficult to debate. I think Maresca gets a 9 today. Could I give him a 10? I could. But it's always a bit difficult for the manager. But he was near on perfect today. Near on perfect. Was that moment where I was like, could you make a sub now? Because there was moments where we could have conceded a 2-1 in the second half. And if we conceded 2-1, it gets a bit dodgy and dangerous. Maybe. But at the end, subs happened. A sub made an assist. It worked out. I'm very happy. I'm very happy, and I have nothing to criticize good old Enzo Maresca for. Let me see if there's any other more like relevant quotes. What am I seeing? Cole Palmer's record. Cole Palmer has 22 goals and 6 assists in 23 games at the Bridge. Unbelievable. What a player. Just a chill guy. Yeah, he is. Big 3 points. What am I saying? There was one comment about Enzo Maresca. Oh, yeah. I mean, wasn't too much to it. Did Nizar Cancelo tweet anything else particular about what Maresca says? I mean, because someone asked me about this earlier, what do I think about the whole title fight thing? He was asked about this today again, seemingly. Maresca and White Chelsea are not ready to win the league. For some of these players, the Carabao Cup final was the biggest game they played. You need to live moments to get better. Arsenal players, Liverpool players, City players have lived finals and played for titles, but this is one of the reasons we are still far and not able to compete with these clubs. Now, I think part of it is taking pressure off. Some of this not able to compete, I don't like you don't need to word it this way. But in general, it's right, because we're just inexperienced and haven't experienced the pressure of needing to win, wanting to win. It's tough. It's tough. Can't rate him as high as Villa's tactics were rubbish. Or did we make them look rubbish? One of those, isn't it? But yeah, Uze and Theo say 10. I think 10 is a bit far. I think needs to be against a slightly better opposition, in slightly better form for me to give the manager a 10. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm so happy. I'm so impressed. I love them all. And I'm very, very happy. But ladies and gentlemen, I think on this note, it's about time I wrap this one up. Thank you very much for tuning in. You know what? Let's do one last thing. Look at the table one more time and debate this, because I was obviously saying, oh, we're also reacting to Liverpool Man City. I was only watching it on the side because the F1 was on. But Liverpool won 2-0. City kind of didn't do much. If we go to Liverpool's game and look at the stats of this game, I mean, Liverpool had less possession, but look at the XG, man. 3.35 compared to 0.82. I mean, obviously, we played City at a very different period, and I'm sure if we played City now, we could also get a good result against them. But you know what I mean? They were dominated. They were destroyed. Okay, less possession, but 7 shots on target compared to 2. It wasn't even a contest, if we're being honest. Surprisingly low passing accuracy by Liverpool. But yeah, if we get back to the table, they're 9 points clear still. And to be 9 points clear after 13 games is very surprising and very impressive. Do I still believe at some point a bit of a collapse from Liverpool will come? Yes, because I cannot imagine them being like this all season. I can't believe that will happen. They have a new manager still. You know what I mean? At some point, maybe, obviously, if they're in a title fight, that will maybe, or if they're in a title, almost guaranteed to win it, that will not be as big, but the whole potential, does Salah leave? Does Van Dijk leave? Does Trent leave? Could make things a bit better. So I'm still expecting them at some point to fall down a little bit. I'm not saying necessarily in position, but just get caught by points. I think at this point, you've got to assume that they're going to win the league. I mean, Arsenal look strong now as well. Obviously, their game against West Ham yesterday, 5-2. Some decisions their way, some decisions against them. Crazy game, crazy half, but West Ham are just terrible in it. So, but yeah, I'm so happy. I mean, 25 points after 13 games, 7 wins, 4 draws, just 2 losses after 13 games. I mean, compare that to the last few seasons. Unbelievable. 26 goals scored, like joint second most, even though there's a lot of teams, 26 goals. Liverpool, Arsenal, ourselves, and Brentford have all scored 26 goals, which is kind of funny. Spurs with the most goals scored with 28, 14 goals conceded, which, I mean, there's a few teams, again, that have conceded less or the same, but still up there. It's not like we have a terrible defensive record like we did on the Potter, for example, or early on the Poch. So, yeah, ahead of Man City, level on points and level on results and goal difference and everything with Arsenal, only behind them on alphabetical order, which is a bit of a piss take, I can't lie. I'm happy. I mean, we're 5 points ahead of Spurs. Going to be 8 by the time we play them next week, maybe even more. We're now also 6 points ahead of Manchester United, clearing that gap a little bit, which is nice. I know obviously day one, so we didn't actually clear that gap today, but it's just nice to see. It's just good to see, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Peace. Yeah, peace. 2 signings you sign, I could give a chance for a title. Wow. Arsenal only start their run after they've messed up. Yeah. 2 signings you've signed that could give us a chance at the title. Honestly, I don't really think that our situation is solved by 1 or 2 signings that this season we can win the title. I think we can win the title next season if we improve our goalkeeper. And generally, that's the only one, and keeps out the individuals fit. But I think this season, the problem, like the collective age and inexperience, will be a bigger issue than any individual signings can solve. Sure, would a better goalkeeper improve us? Absolutely. But would it do enough to win us the league? I don't think so. Could you debate a right centre-back? Whether that's because of Fofana's injury or even potentially to make Fofana the kind of the second choice right centre-back, maybe. And I think I can get us closer, but I think the inexperience is the biggest deal why we won't win the league. I mean, Salah and Van Dijk would help. I don't want Salah anywhere near this football club. Van Dijk, maybe, but Salah was here in too disrespectful since to be considered for anything like this. But yeah, I hear the question, Dawson, but I hope you understand my argument. And I'm like, I don't think there's any 2 signings that really do that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because I don't think there's going to be a striker that's going to be so much better and more clinical than Jackson is at the moment. There's not one out there, in my opinion. And yeah, a centre-back and a goalie. That's it. But I don't think that's even enough to win us the league still. Again, we're 9 points clear. There you go. Fair play. Appreciate you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Love you all. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. That would be massively appreciated. Hit the like button. That would be fantastic as well. Again, one more time, I'm plugging it. Check out mine and Pice's podcast down in the description below. Chelsea Unfiltered podcast. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcast. New episodes every single Tuesday, including last Tuesday, including in 2 days' time. Check it out. Get involved. We'd massively appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for getting involved. And yeah, up the Chelsea, upwards and onwards. And I will see you next time.